Hello, my friends. It's Wayne G. the Gurmanator. What's up, chica? Ese maricón, gringo, pendejo, vato, el guapo. So, I want to give a shout out to Tina Forte. I saw Tina do an interview tonight on iHeartRadio, The Mojo Show, I believe, and Tina, great job. I got to watch the whole video, and it was fantastic. You're on a roll. Take it all the way, baby. So, during that interview, Tina said she was called by white liberals, she's been called a white supremacist whore, right? I got a spit cup. Don't swallow the cigar juice, by the way. I got a nice cigar. I'm in Lake George, by the way. So I'm with my daughter, and her friends from high school, little high school trip. So I've also been called a white supremacist by white liberals, by Christian Amato and Michael Kass, Kaess. Michael has been attacking me. He's been editing my videos, re-editing my videos, and he does everything he can in these videos to make me look bad, to make me look like I am a white supremacist. Fascinating, isn't it? Fucking fascinating. He works for the Royal Bank of Scotland. Did I mention that? Yeah. You know, I went on Twitter today. I like to see what these clowns are doing now. I check up and see, you know, they're obsessed with me. And Christian Amato said that this far-right, alt-right, I don't even know what that means. That's alt-right is something that the left made up a few years ago to attack that the left made up to attack the right. And what did Christian say? He said that this group has been doxing him. And if you don't know what doxing is, that means giving out your personal information, your home address, your this, your that. And they've been doxing back. Well, that's another lie. See, these white liberals live nothing but lies. Everything is a lie. Everything about the Democratic Party is a lie. They gave my father's home address to do a BLM rally this coming Sunday, July 12th. Isn't that nice? My 83-year-old father, they thought it was me because we have the same name, right? So he claims that we doxed first. Well, listen, we have the proof. It was about a week ago where they gave my father's home address and said, let's have a little BLM rally at his house. No bueno, I say. No fucking bueno. So they call me a white supremacist. Let's discuss that. And, no, I've had some friends say, Wayne, you don't have to explain to them, but I can't sit in silence. You know, it's just not my way. You know, you got to fight back. You just can't sit here and let people defame you and just sit here and ignore. A lot of people say, Wayne, ignore them. They're nobody. They got 300 followers on Twitter. They're nobody. Yeah, I know they're nobody, but when I get attacked, I punch back. That's the way it is, right? So let's talk about my white supremacy. I have 4 mixed race black kids, which I raised. Okay. They live with me. I'm here on a trip, as I just said, with my daughter. This is her high school graduation trip. She wanted to come to Lake George. With us, I took 4 of her friends, 1 black young lady, 1 Indian young man, 1 white girl, and 1 Hispanic young man. All wonderful young people. And I don't see race. It's just not the way I was raised. When I've told this story before, when I was 8 years old, I heard the N-word in my neighborhood. Some friends must have used it, and I said it in front of my father. And my father smacked me hard in the face. He says, don't let me ever hear you say that fucking word. That's disgusting. We're all equal human beings. That's a derogatory name to call black people. Not those people. He didn't say that. He said black people. And don't let me ever hear you say it again. So I learned a lesson there, didn't I? And as you grow up, you learn color of skin, race. It means nothing. Nada. Nothing. Bada beep, bada boop, bada bing, capiche? So, let's talk about who I am. I run the group Bronx Strong. There's 3,100 members. Much love to all of you. And it's been labeled a hate group by these white liberals. White liberals, the most disgusting human beings to walk the earth. They're lying filth. They will do anything. They'll try to get you fired. They'll try to destroy your life. But it's very sad. Malcolm X, not that I'm a follower of Malcolm X at all, he said it very well 55-something years ago. He said, the white liberal is the most dangerous creature to walk the earth. They are the wolf in sheep's clothes. They will smile at you as they lead you to your death. They will smile, but they won't smile enough. They won't show their teeth enough to show their fangs. They'll smile, but they won't show their fangs. They are disgusting, disgusting human beings. And I'm gonna get off topic for a second here. Let's talk about what the white liberal is doing to black lives. They are killing black lives, right? Right? They're brainwashing them. They're telling them to hate. And who's bearing the brunt of all these deaths? Young black men mostly, right? And we've seen horribly, very tragically, what did we see this weekend? An 8-year-old girl shot dead in her mother's car by the BLM in Atlanta. A 3-year-old girl in Chicago in another car was killed. 13-year-old girl sitting in her home was killed by protesters. No, these weren't cops doing this killing. These were protesters and gang members and whatever. I'll also mention, there's just too many to mention. It's horrible. The numbers are disgusting. The 17-year-old young man, the basketball player who's going to St. John's, he went to Monroe High School. Horrible. He was shot in the neck, this poor young man. So, the white liberal, what they've done to black people is disgusting. Lyndon Baines Johnson said it in the 60s, the Great Society, the Welfare Reform Act. His famous saying was, we're going to have these N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years, right? That's what he said, right? He was the president back then when there was real racism alive. And what that did, the Welfare Reform Act, what it did, it had the government now became the baby daddy in the home, right? They made it advantageous for black women to have babies without a father in the home, without being married. Back then, 72% of the households, of black households, had a father. 72% had a father. Today, I think it's 9% of black homes have a father. That's thanks to the Democrats and what they did. Please don't go out, cigar. So, let's go back a few years. And I know a lot of you, my friends, you love Obama, right? You love Obama. But what Obama did is he divided us. He came in and he divided us. Saul Alinsky's Rules for Radicals, soft Marxism, divided us every day, right? And look what we have now. I remember I made a movie in 2008 when Obama first took office. And it was only 12 years ago, 11 years ago when I did the festival circuit. I traveled, I traveled the United States with my film and played in many, many festivals, won many awards. It was a fun film, right? So my point is, my film played in the Hollywood Black Film Festival with an all-black audience. They loved it. There was no division. They laughed. Today, forget it. Can you imagine me going out to the Hollywood Black Film Festival? My film also played in the Chicago Hip Hop Film Festival. Okay, that was mostly a black audience in Chicago. And I used one of the Chicago artists, a rapper, not Clifton Lowe, Seven Lee, right? Seven Lee, excellent. And there was none of this. There was none of this division. Yes, there was racism. It's been around, right? But what the Democrat Party does to you, they make you feel like it's 1932 when there was rampant racism. And yes, black people have been through a lot. They've been through hell. But that doesn't exist today, right? White people elected Obama. Elected him twice. Even after a very poor first term, they elected him again, right? So getting back to Obama, what he did was divide us constantly. When he said Trayvon could have been my son, when he sent 3 White House officials to Michael Brown's funeral, he's telling black people in America that racist police are killing you. They are hunting you down and killing you, even though George Zimmerman wasn't a cop. You know, there are facts about the Trayvon Martin case that many people don't even know. You know, the ground and pound when he's beating the shit out of George Zimmerman. Michael Brown, we all know that story very well, right? And when Obama was dividing us constantly, what do we have? We had the knockout game, remember? Young black men would knock out old black people, usually hitting them from behind, because he drummed up an anger in them. And there was no Antifa before Obama. I know they'll lie now and say Antifa's been around forever, but no, Antifa is fairly new. None of these Occupy situations, right? There was no ISIS before Obama, right? So I'm thinking back to a time, 2009, when I traveled the country in my movie, and none of this was talked about. Politics wasn't even discussed hardly. By the masses, I'm talking about. You know, political junkies will always were into politics. But Obama divided us night and day. He said, take to the streets, let your voice be heard, right? That's code word for, you know, what we have now, right? Michelle Obama, I've said it many times. She went to black colleges like Howard, and she says, you will never be judged by your merit. You will never be judged by your grades. You will never be judged by your achievements. You'll only be judged by the color of your skin. So what are you telling these young people in college, right, Michelle? Loretta Lynch, Pelosi, all of them, Schumer. Take to the streets, let your voice be heard. Now we have almost anarchy, right? So getting back to me, white supremacist, me. So let's go through my history and who I am. Because like I said, I have 3,100 members in Bronx Strong, and let's face it, most of you don't even know me. During this movie circuit, in my movie, I must have cast, I think it was 35 black actors in my film, right? That's what a white supremacist does, right? There was one gentleman I became great friends with, James Edward Lee, rest his soul, he's passed away now. I used to take James with me on trips, film festivals. I used to pay his way. He didn't have a lot of money, James. He was a great guy, great actor. And when my son was playing baseball, a couple of years later in college, I traveled the country, you know, down to Florida, whatever, and I took James on several trips with me, paid his way, right? That's what a white supremacist does, isn't it, right? When one of my best friends, let's call him Keith, that was his name, I don't want to give his full name here, but back then we hung out for many years, and when he got in a little trouble with the law, he called me for bail money, right? And I laid out $1,500. which I never got back, by the way. Speaking of bail, there was another young lady. Let's call her Keith is black, by the way. I'm giving you my history. Another young lady, I know her family very well. She needed $1,000 for bail. This is about 12 years ago. I bailed her out of jail, right? This is what a white supremacist does, right? Also in 1990, I was part owner of a record company. Me, there might have been one or two other white people there, and the rest were all black and Spanish, right? The artists were all black and Spanish, and I had great relationships with all of them. To this day, my good friend, dear friend, my brother, Eddie Jean, we're still very close. He was a young rapper then, 16 years old. I took him under my wing like he was my younger brother. And we're still very, very, very close to this day. Right? When this young lady who I mentioned, I bailed her out of jail. When her wonderful mother passed away, I chipped in $1,000 for the burial costs and the wake. That's what a white supremacist does, right? Right, Christian Amano and Michael Cass? Which is fascinating, too. Another thing about these two gentlemen, these ugly, despicable gentlemen, is one's on Community Board 11 and one is on the Morris Park Association. Right? This is your leaders. They call themselves community organizers. Right? Obama called himself a community organizer as well, if you remember that. Let's fast forward a little bit. I also have people I consider a second family. I'm not going to mention names, but also related to this young woman I bailed out of jail. They've been hanging out with me and treating me like family for, 18 years now. You know, my friends joke. You know, they come to my parties at my house and there might be one or two white people and 25 black people, right? That's what a white supremacist does, right? It's not about the color, though. These people could be white. I wouldn't give a fuck. These people are wonderful people, and I love them. I take their kids out to New Rock City, to that Sky Zone, right? 11, 12, 13, 14, 16-year-old kids. I take them all out. I pay for everything, right? Because I love them, right? That's what a white supremacist does, right? I'm a white supremacist, so you're going to bring BLM to what you thought was my house, but it's really my father's house, and you're going to bring BLM, which your group of BLM is mostly white people, which is fascinating. But it's going to be a funny scene if they show up. It really will be, because you're going to have a lot of people there. There will be police there as well. The 45th is well informed of this. And many retired cops will be there, and many of my black friends will be there as well. And if you think my black friends are going to allow you white liberals to scare my father, it's not going to be a nice scene. Not nice. You're going to have the white liberals yelling George Floyd, Black Lives Matter, which I agree with. Black lives, of course, matter. They matter as much as anyone else's life. All right? George Floyd was a murder. He was murdered. Anyone could see that. It was obvious. We saw the videotape. So you're going to have your white liberals with a smattering of a few black faces there, people you have brainwashed. And you've told them that Wayne Gurman is a white supremacist. And you're going to have my mixed crowd with several to many black people there. And you'll have the white people screaming at the black people. The irony is fascinating. But this is what these sick, these demented, ugly white liberals do. They are the most evil people on the planet. Look what they are doing. Open borders, no bail, no jail. No stop and frisk, right? Stop, question, and frisk. You can't do that. So what do? The older people and the people that just want to live their lives and go to work, they're terrorized by the younger crowd there, right? And you could talk about systematic racism, this, that, the other thing. Why are these young black people doing this and in this boat, right? They grow up in the hood, and this is what they see, right? I don't know. It's just a bad way, but it's all fueled by the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party must kill 10,000 black people a year, right? Well, 10,000 people a year. Let's say that. Between the shootings, the gun deaths in America, the illegal aliens that they now need their votes because they've lost the American people, pretty much. You remember 15 years ago, Bill Clinton and even Obama was talking about how you need borders, you need that, you need this. They were all on that platform. They were just saying the same thing Donald Trump is saying today. They used to say that. But they've changed, right? This is now the Democrat socialist, right? Social Democrat, whatever they call themselves. Now they believe in, you don't need ID to vote, mail-in voting, any kind of fraud they could pull across because they want all these illegals to vote. So they need a new voter base, don't they? And who gets hurt again? When you bring in all these illegal aliens, right? A lot of them need jobs, right? And they're taking the lower skilled jobs that some blacks, some Hispanics, and some whites need, right? That Americans need. They're taking their jobs, right? Comprende ese? So you create one big clusterfuck. Illegal aliens kill 4,000 Americans a year. That's a fact, right? Approximately 4,000 Americans a year. Shouldn't be one. We should have a border, right? You also have the revolving door of justice, right? The liberal judges. You see people arrested 70 times. How about in New York with de Blasio, right? Cuomo, right? The bail reform, right? Nobody gets held anymore. What was the bank robber? He robbed 6, 7 banks. He kept getting out and kept robbing the bank again, right? You see these criminals murdering people after they've had 70 arrests. 70. This is all because of the Democrats, right? The Democrats this is what they are doing. They are destroying America. They are putting us all in harm. They are killing our youth. And the black community is suffering by far the worst. By far the worst. So they tell them to be angry that the white man, this, that, the other thing. Last year, 10 unarmed black men were killed by police, right? It shouldn't be any, right? But, each case is different, so you have to examine each case, right? Just because they're unarmed doesn't mean they didn't fight, right? We have the one in Atlanta with Mr. Brooks, right? He fought with the 2 officers, and he stole a taser, ran away, and shot the taser at the cop. What happens if the taser hits the cop and the cop goes down? You could incapacitate someone with a taser, right? We've seen it we see how those work. Mr. Brooks could have grabbed Rayshon Brooks, I think. Sorry if I got that name wrong, but he could have picked up that officer's gun at that point and killed them both, right? What happens when that officer gets off? More riots, right? More riots. So you have one big clusterfuck of murder here. That's what you have. You have one, and the black community is suffering by far the worst. Black children are being killed, all because of Democrat policies and what they believe in. They are destroying they are destroying America, and they just are destroying the black community. So getting back to me, Wayne Gurman, who is called a white supremacist by these disgusting white liberals. This is who I am, right? No racism, zero racism. I know the left likes to tell you everyone has a little racism in them. Where is my racism? Where is it? Oh, I don't comprehend it. I don't understand Vato. It's not because I have black friends. It's not because I have black kids. I got friends, Hispanic friends. I got black. I got Asian friends. I got friends of every different race and ethnicity. Sorry, I stumbled on that word, but it's late. I don't see color. I just don't. I treat people the way they treat me. That's why I hate the white liberals, because they have so much hate in their heart. My group, Bronx Strong. Okay, you might have a few more rough people there, which is their prerogative, right? I've eliminated some people that went over the line, right? Michael Cass likes to edit my videos, right? He tries to show me doing this, doing that, saying this, saying that. And there was one post where I warned my group. I says, someone use the word monkey, that's disparaging. You can't use that. And I told him, don't ever do that again, right? And he has not, right? I don't even remember the name of the person who did it, but, I moderate the group and I throw out left and right. I've thrown out several people that were too radical, right? You can't come to my page with racism. If you look at my mission statement when I started the group, I said it's all about love. There's no racism here, right? That doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? The white liberals have an agenda. They want to tear you down. They want to hurt you. Thank God I don't own a business. God forbid I owned a business on East Tremont Avenue or something, or anywhere, Morris Park, anywhere. Tonight I watched somebody was live streaming the BLM march in Morris Park, and come on, New York. This fucking lighter sucks. It used to work great. It's not working anymore. So they're marching down Morris Park, and they're yelling George Floyd. As if Morris Park is full of the KKK, right? This is what they're trying to convey, that it's all racist in Morris Park, which is a bunch of bullshit. I know tons of people in Morris Park, they're just like me, right? Sure, there may be a few racists in any crowd. I have black friends that I've seen racism from. I've seen it both ways. Again, George Floyd was a cold-blooded murder. We've talked about that. I can guarantee that was something personal. They worked together in a club. They were bouncers, both of them. That cop and George Floyd, there was 100% some sort of beef between them. And that cop, whether he was right or not right in killing him, that's for damn sure. But whether he thought George Floyd did him wrong, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll come out in the trial. It's not even important. George Floyd is dead, and I don't care about his history. Doesn't matter that he committed some crimes or he was a porno star. Who the fuck cares? My uncle was a porno star. Jamie Gillis, by the way. Look him up. Jamie Gillis. And they were also screaming Black Lives Matter. We know Black Lives matter as much as any other human being's life. They matter. Right? We know that, right? We know that going in. You don't have to yell that at us or me or anyone I know. Black lives certainly matter. But this is what the white liberal does. They divide. Black, white, Spanish, Indian, Native American, Asian. They put everyone in little boxes. That's what they do. I don't do that, and almost everyone I know doesn't do that. Now, sure, I've seen racism. I've known many cops, and some of them had racism in their hearts, and I know that. You can't change them. That's the way they were brought up. But I've known many black people that were racist too. It goes both ways. We're all human beings. We're all human beings. And some people just aren't educated enough, or whatever the fuck it is. It's the way they were brought up, the way their parents were brought them up. So this video is about to end. It only has a certain time limit for some reason. And I'd just like to say much love to all my friends, all Americans. Tina Forte, great job. You're blowing up, girl. I love it. I fucking love it. I'm so proud of you. So proud of you. You're doing wonderful. You are a shining star. Fuck Michael Bitcherport. And that's about it. That's about it, right? We all bleed red, right? Beware of the wolf in sheep's clothing. Beware. All right? Much love. And we're going to have a party at my dad's house on Sunday. I'll also be selling the Bronx Strong shirts for the group and anyone else who wants to buy them. We're going to have a DJ, and if BLM comes, we'll have a little sing-along, right? We'll sing the great Lee Greenwood song, all right? Anyway, much love. Terminator out from Lake George. Have a great week, everyone. Have a great summer. Love you all. Most of you. Take care. Terminator out.